Motivation. I'm motivated. But what do you do when motivation is not enough? You rely on your work ethic. You rely on your discipline. That's mentality. Now let's get it.
To the stage, please welcome Julian Peters.
What's going on, everybody? This is Julian with Mentality Podcast. For those watching, how's it going? For those listening, welcome back to my voice. Today, I got a special guest, one of my favorite battle rappers, period, Mr. LOSO. How's it going?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. What's up with you, man?
Not much at all. Not much at all. Just I went ahead and went back and watched some of your battles to get warmed up for this.
Okay, fire.
Yeah, I posted this. I was sharing you. It's got a lot of friends in battle rap. They're like, "This dude just battle Vixen." I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you have the app?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah.
I'm a fan. This ain't like I'm like, yeah, I got the app and everything. Yeah. So I guess the Vixen battle, that JC battle, I'm not gonna lie, did not expect you to come like that.
Oh.
That was crazy. Like,
yeah.
JC is up there to me, and you beat JC clearly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So,
definitely, man. Definitely.
This, man, what got you into battle rap?
Yeah, so I tell everybody who asks me this question, like, for me, you know, I was like a genuine fan, like what you were just saying, right? Like, I was like a connoisseur of battle rap. So I love the storylines. I love the art form of it, the competition. And so when I would write my own acapellas, when I would write my own like spoken words and stuff like that, it was kind of like a battle rap round, you know what I'm saying? And people used to tell me that. It was like, yo, you kind of remind me of a battle rapper. And so, you know, I used to take that as a compliment. But then when they used to tell me, hey, we think you should be a battle rapper, I always had reservations because, one, I didn't know how I would operate in that field as a Christian. And then two, I also didn't think I could compete. I didn't think I could memorize that much material. I didn't think all those different things. So what ends up happening is I win this competition. I win this rap competition out in Chicago. My boy Street Hens was a part of it and stuff. And, you know, I started getting a lot of like push to do it. Well, maybe about 2 years later, I hear about this league out in Tampa. And I just put out a post. I said, yo, I would love to do a tryout. I would just try out. And I didn't want no, like, I'll be honest, bro. I didn't want to have no career in battle rap. I just wanted to do one as a bucket list. Let me just scratch it off and then move on with my life type of thing. What ends up happening, I split the post up and the league owner was like, yo, can I go ahead and see, like, I know you don't have any footage, but can I see you like rapping? Can you have any footage of you just rapping? So I sent him like a little clip of like me freestyling for like 10 minutes. And he responds back to me. He says, where the hell have you been? That was his response, bro. And then from there, man, that's what got me in. I did my first battle there. And then since then, it's just been, by God's grace, it's been an elevation.
For sure. So I think the first battle that I really saw you was Bad News on the bullpen.
Wow.
Yeah, you had some crazy haymakers there. So obviously being a Christian, stepping into this realm, this lane, you're not necessarily 100% accepted off top. So what are some of the things that you've had to deal with, you know, going into battle rap, being a Christian and going against people, or just even getting, you know, to the position you are?
Yeah. I mean, I tell people like they really can't deny talent. You know what I'm saying? As much as they want to deny your worldview, your position, you know, stuff like that, like they really can't deny talent. And so if you're cooking, they're booking. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be putting you on place and stuff, and they want to market you and stuff. So I do think though, from a battle rap standpoint, you do got to deal with, unfortunately, it's like a free angle, right? So whatever issues they have with Christianity, they think it's an automatic point against you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, you know, the Crusades happened thousands of years ago, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack Loso on that, right? And so to me, I'm just like, come on, bro, like, you're not battling me. You know what I'm saying? I'm battling you. It's not like I'm talking about, what a hip hop rapper did 20 years ago, and then using that to define you or whatnot. So unfortunately, you got to deal with that. But then on the flip side, like, the battle rap culture, they're like, man, you're too Christian. Then I got people in the church that's like, yo, you're not Christian enough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang, I find myself in this weird dichotomy, bro. Like, it's not for me internally, but externally with these people. It's like, okay, like when I'm doing when I'm pleasing, not pleasing, but when I'm being beneficial to these people over here, these people are like, oh, well, you kind of sold out. When I'm being beneficial over here, it's like, oh, you're not really relevant. So like, I kind of just put my head down to the plow, man, just work for the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And try to just say like, man, whoever's going to rock with me is going to rock with me type of thing.
It's interesting you say that too with the church. And that's one thing I want to get into, because like, it's almost like, do we read the Bible and understand like Jesus went where the wild things were? Like that's where he was making a lot of his noise. So when I see people like you, Ward, Saga, Hymns, it's like a breath of fresh air to me, because I've never fit the mold of just go to church. Like I did that growing up. I went to private Christian schools, but I was always different.
Yeah.
When we see people like you, I feel like it gives young people a lot of an example of, you can still be cool. You can still like hip hop and still represent. So have you been able to, use this platform to impact people? And what are some of the things you've done on that?
I mean, just like what you said, right? There's certain people, because we not the most followed, we not the most loved in the battle rap culture, right? But we do got a big following and we're here. But at the same time, it's kind of like you get messages from certain people, bro, and it makes everything worth it, in the sense of like, because you're gonna get trolls, you're gonna get haters, right? But it puts those in perspective when somebody just says like, yo, man, I was struggling with my faith, but just seeing you out there kind of just encouraging. Or even something as simple as like, I was listening to this, but now I want to listen to this, or I'm curious, I just want to know who Jesus is and stuff. So I do get that from fans. But then what people really don't know is that I get a lot of that in with battle rappers. My previous opponents, bro, I have great relationships with them, bro, and I'm on the phone with them and we're dialoguing and we're talking about, okay, like, what do we want to do? Like there's more to this life, and they know that, bro. And so they want to sit down with somebody who can relate to them, who's not afraid to admit like, yo, I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner as well, right? Because that's like the misconception, like, I'm just here to judge you. And it's like, nah, bro, I'm here to walk with you. I know exactly what you're going through. Let's walk through this. How can we figure out how Jesus is the solution to this issue? And it's always pointing back to the cross, right? Like, that's always going to be the end goal, the end solution. And so but yeah, man, both sides, bro. And I think every time I get an encounter with either side about a situation like that, it just puts everything in perspective, because it's difficult, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might not have a good performance. Sometimes you might get slandered. Sometimes you might get just hated on for whatever reason. And you kind of just got to sit there and say, all right, like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And this is the reason for it.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that too, because some of the battles I watch with you, like I said, the Horsemen, and some of the stuff people say, I just be like, if you don't believe in God, or you're not sure, like, are you really wanting to put that out there the way that you're saying it? So in situations like that, is it just for battle rap, or have you ever had to talk to somebody? Like, I'll go, for instance, the Brez battle. That was some of the stuff Brez was saying was crazy to me. I'm just like, so do you guys have conversation after that?
Man, you know what? Unfortunately, like, stuff like that, they really just do that for battle rap, bro. Like, I almost, and you're right. It's not even, I think somebody told, I think it was O-Red. O-Red came up to me and he said he could never do, like, he was present for my show off battle, right? And show off kind of went the same route. And O-Red was like, yo, I can't do that because I grew up in church. Like, I just know what that is. And so like, the situation is they're saying, yo, I'm gonna win this battle by saying X, Y, and Z and just getting crowd reaction. And so and you and I know, okay, bro, but at what cost? Like, what are you, why are you even saying stuff like that? You see what I'm saying? So unfortunately, when you don't really believe, like, you can't really hold them to a standard. You and I look at it like, bro, that's crazy. But for them, it'll be similar if me and you was dissing like a unicorn or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't hold to that truth. But But unfortunately, you know, that we know how truthful this is. We know how real this is. And so every word will be accounted for.
Yeah. So, I want to get into like your actual walk and how, you know, you got into faith and the whole nine. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about battle wise. I think probably one of the best battles of all time that gets overlooked, but you and B Dot was insane.
Yeah.
And that's dealing with a guy who's extremely educated on the situation. He's coming at you with his facts, with his science, and all those things. And I mean, I'm pretty sure from what I've seen, obviously it's just social media, or you and B Dot aren't beefing or nothing like that. So conversation wise, you know, within battle rap in that, how do you approach that? Because I deal with that myself everyday life, where people are like, you know, they're questioning Christianity, they're questioning your walk with God, and here's my science to go with.
Man, so are you talking about how do I deal with it in a battle or just in conversation with them?
We can do both. Like, I would like to hear both.
So I mean, in a battle, you know, I mean, there's at the end of the day, I have to rap. So I'm gonna be on the offense just as much as you're on the offense. You know what I'm saying? I don't ever think like I have to be on the defense, because at the end of the day, they never bring up anything new. They never bring up any, like, these conversations, these debates have been going on for years, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in their mind, to the people in the room, they feel like it's new. They feel like it's like in their mind, they're like, oh, this is like some intelligent, you know, revelation that they're getting. It's like, bro, we've been dealing with this and we have answers for all this. But so I don't really be spending too much time on that. But at the flip side though, in conversation, I mean, you just gotta be like, you gotta admit whenever you don't know something, you know what I'm saying? Like, humility is key. But then on the flip side, like, we do have an answer for this. So I engage with conversations with B Dot daily. We're on the phone talking about different things. And so for me, that his biggest argument that Christianity is the white man's religion, like, I'm constantly, you know, breaking that down, you know what I'm saying, and showing the misconceptions in that. However, moving forward though, I do think that a lot of times when they do speak, bro, it's not their true intentions of their heart, or what they want to do is just like display their frustrations about the faith, right? Like, man, why is my mom not here? Why is this? Why is that? So they mask that though with whatever they're Googling on the internet and what Wikipedia gives them, right? And so right. I want to strip back the layers. I want to go ahead and say, okay, I hear what you're saying here, but what are you really trying to say? Why are you really upset? Why is Jesus really somebody that you're upset with? You see what I'm saying? So
I got you. Okay. So as far as your walk, where did it start for you? Like, I'm a person, man, I got some praying women in my family. So my grandmother is a pastor, my mom. So I kind of grew up in this. And then I had my stray away point, turned 18, thought I was living life. Now I've gradually come back to where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
You start that way. Kind of, how did you get introduced to your relationship with God?
Man, so I was, it's crazy, bro. I was just on YouTube one day. I was on YouTube one day, and I had, you know, stepped foot in church here and there, but you know, my mom didn't raise us as Christians, you know what I'm saying? My father passed away when I was young, so like we didn't have no Christian upbringing. However, I was just on YouTube, bro, and I was watching this video. It's by a guy named Paul Washer. He was preaching the gospel, and the Lord used it to save me. And so like the message, you hear the message a couple of times, but then it's like that one time when the Holy Spirit really wakes you up, bro, like you like, oh snap, why is things making sense all of a sudden? And so when it occurs, you know what I'm saying, you awake. And for me at that moment, I started like trying to dive into like, okay, what can I do to kind of strengthen up my faith? And so I was given a Christian rap CD at the time by the Truth, and I was listening to it, and you know, I'm just like engulfed in everything he's saying. Everything, bro. I'm watching every interview on YouTube. I'm watching everything about him. Like, he becomes like my hero. And then I remember asking, I was like, man, Lord, I need somebody who, like, I need people, I need community that looks like me, because around, like, I had older people, but I didn't have nobody who looked like me, who talked like me, who loved Jesus. And so that's when I was introduced to, we were young at the time, we were like 18, 19 years old, but HGA, you know what I'm saying, KB and the rest of the guys. And so it was like 6 or 7 of us. And we just built a community, you know what I'm saying? We built a community, and we were reading the Bible together. We were going to Bible college together. We were preaching the gospel together. Like we were growing up together as young guys. And because of that, that really strengthened my faith at that time. And so, you know, from there, obviously, you know, you get different checkpoints in your walk where you're like, yeah, this kind of made an impact. This made an impact. But that was like the starting point for me.
Got you. So has there ever been a time in your life where you've questioned God and your relationship?
Man, I think every Christian, if they're honest, it's not even a specific time. Like you just go through times like that, bro. Cause bro, life is hard, bro. Life is difficult. And whether that's in, you know, relationships with your parents, whether that's finances, whether that's just, you know, social justice when you look outside, or even just marital relationships, right, in your own home. Like you go through these spurts of trials, and then you start questioning, like, well, God, if you're good, why am I going through this? And here's the problem. Here's the main issue. Why? Like, we're not questioning his existence, we're questioning his character at that time. And it's like, okay, we need to redefine what we think life on earth should be, because the Bible doesn't speak about happy times, bro. It speaks about suffering. It speaks about like building your character and endurance and trust in the Lord. And that's the beauty about Christianity, right? Like, so yeah, I do question God at times, but then I remember, like, I'm not in a different religion where this God is just sitting up and he just has his feet kicked back and he's just watching us, right? What is he doing? He's coming down and he's suffering with his people, and he's suffering for his people. And you don't get that nowhere else. You don't get that gospel story, bro. And so, yeah, unfortunately I do, man, but by God's grace, you know what I'm saying? I think that's why it's so important. I would tell anybody who's listening, who's saying like, man, I'm going through something like that. Like, I feel like I question God and stuff. The biggest antidote that I always give is join a church. You have to find a church, bro. This life was not meant for you to go ahead and try to walk by yourself. Man is, it is not good that man is alone. You know, God is not bringing these private, you know, soldiers. Nah, he's putting you in an army, and you need just like the saying, right? Like, it takes a village to raise a boy. I think it takes a church to raise a Christian, bro. Like, you need other godly people around you, like-minded people around you who can hold you accountable, who you can pray with, who you can talk to these things with. And that's very rare to find, unfortunately, today. But I would encourage people to find that, chase after that, because you need it, bro. If not, you will die off.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that. I actually started a devotional that I do every morning. So it's kind of how I start my day off.
Yeah.
One of the things that one of the latest ones I did, he spoke about God not calling our walk to be easy.
Basically. Yeah, at all.
And so, like, I'm going through a really tough period of my life right now, actually going through a divorce. And what's crazy about this whole situation, I won't get into the whole story because it's a lot to go into it, but God has like showed himself so crazy in the last couple weeks through this. Man. And it's like the trials that I'm going through, he's letting me know he got me, but he's also letting me know, like, this is a reminder that you need to stay with me. So what I found out in my marriage, when I'm looking back and reflecting, which I think is a crazy skill that you have to possess in order to get better, is I made my wife such an idol and forgot about God.
Come on.
So our foundation that started on Christ, I let that go as far as trying to make her happy in every way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm learning for the next situation, whenever that happens, not to do that. But he's also showing me, like, I'm still here. I still got you. Stay faithful. And it's, like I said, it's a tough time, but I'm here, and he's showing me everything.
Come on, bro.
So with that being said, so I know, again, we're talking about your walk. We're talking about you building a community. When you're going into the situation that you are with battle rap, or I know you do music as well, which, shout out to you. The minute I watched battle rap, I went on Apple and started downloading all your stuff too. So I got music too.
Appreciate that, bro.
So just know that. But when you're going through this, have you ever encountered situations where you've had to display God's love in a situation where you were wrong?
When I was wrong, what do you mean? Explain that.
As far as battle rap, I know there's a lot of contract situations and stuff like that. So if your contract was wrong or feature on songs or anything, how have you dealt with any type of turmoil from that point? Somebody doing you wrong and still trying to be a Christian and show love, but standing up for yourself too.
Man, you know what's crazy, bro? I've just been, this is definitely not to toot my own horn or nothing like that, bro. I'm just be honest, but I just feel like ever since I became a Christian, I've been very, very like things don't bother me like they used to. I'm gonna be real, bro.
Right.
Like let's say you were like, yo, Los, I need you to come do this, and I'm gonna pay you like, X amount of dollars or whatnot, and I do it, and you just don't pay me. Like, I would reach out. I would try to like, but I at some point I would just be like, oh well, it's just chalked up. Now I would so that would be how I conduct myself. I would reach out to the person. I would just say like, yo, you were wrong for this, but I'm not gonna take like, because you just gotta understand, like as a Christian, bro, you just gotta know like the Lord has your back. He's like, I've never been without, bro. I've just never been without. I've never been without food in the fridge or money to pay the bills. Like he's just been holding me down. And so I've never been the type to just worry about that. With that being said, I do think that you still need to hold people accountable and stuff. So I try to make sure when I do hold somebody accountable for wronging me, what I do is make sure that my speech is seasoned with grace, my actions, because I don't want somebody to be like, oh, well, look at Loso saying yada, yada, yada. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not just representing myself. I got a family, I got a church, and I got, the Lord that I'm supposed to be an ambassador for. So I keep those things in mind.
Yeah, so that and that's what I wanted to ask. That's why I asked that, because I feel like people like you, even myself, battle rappers, even now, like there's a group, I would almost say millennials, that are changing this visual of what a Christian is.
Yeah.
Compared to what our grandparents, parents came up to. But there's also a lot of push. I feel like I wouldn't say it's necessarily a division within the church, but you can definitely see this like change of the guard, where I remember at one point wearing a hat to church was like forbidden. Don't get a tattoo.
It's a fact, bro. It's a
Straight
fact.
to hell. So do you see yourself as an example as far as bridging that gap between the different generations?
Man, so I want to answer it without sounding like, I'm the savior,
No, yeah, I got you.
But I feel you. I feel exactly what you're trying to say. So for me, in a sense, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be naive to it. Like, I think people are seeing, because for me, I was always like this guy who loved art, right? I loved creatives, whoever did stuff at a high level. And I love Jesus, right? And kind of when you think of Christians doing something, the first thing people think is like, oh, it's corny, or it's this, right? And so I always ask myself, man, like, what if Moses battle rapped? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
what if, like, what if a disciple of Christ battle rap? Or what if somebody like Chris Brown loved Jesus? Like, what would that look like, right? Like, what would those worlds look like? And so I do want to be this, at least this message to people, where it's like, yo, you can be creative, you can impact the culture, bro. You don't have to live in this Christian bubble. You can do that at a high level and still be faithful to Jesus. That's what it is. So if I am, I mean, I don't know. I won't say, I let other people say that, say if they want to say that about me, hey, praise God, you know what I'm saying? But if I am that, then yeah, I'm gonna keep striving that way.
I would think you are, personally, like I said, because even I'm an older guy, but I know that there's plenty of young people that are watching battle rap that have to be inspired by what you all are doing. Not just you,
of course.
Saga, Hims, who needs more respect. I'm getting tired of him getting disrespected.
Bro, I'm tired of it, bro.
It's a different conversation. But so when you're dealing with the pushback from church and that old guard, what are some of the ways, or what are some of the things that you've tried to show them, I guess, to make that change? Like, for instance, I'll put it like this. I grew up in a very strict household. Okay.
Yeah.
my mom has completely changed her ways the older I got, to realize she sheltered me a little bit too much. There was a little bit too much of fearing God instead of like you know what I mean? Like you fear, like I don't want to make this decision because God gonna get me. And so we made that turn. So when you're dealing with somebody in that type of aspect, what are some of the ways that you're trying to connect yourself with them? Because I know there's a bridge there that can be made, but it's just like, how do you go about it?
Yeah, so like whenever you're dealing with like traditional views, right, that aren't biblical, they're just traditional, right? Like I have no problem with tradition because there's, you know, our scriptures have that. But when you start making stuff up just for the sake of it, I think for me, I just want to sit down with them and just let them know, like, yo, you don't have to like put these rules where Jesus didn't put these rules at. And I like showing in the scriptures, like where the Pharisees were doing that to Jesus. They would do that to him, right? Like he's healing somebody and they're like, oh, you shouldn't be healing on Sabbath. He's like, bro, is that really what you're focused on right now? You know what I'm saying? And so I think the same thing like you. I mean, unfortunately, I come from like my first church that I've encountered, it was kind of like that, bro. Like kind of what you just said about your mom, like bro, I remember, no lie, this is just no lie, bro. I remember being an usher in my church, right? And I could not usher on Sundays if I had a design in my head. I used to like getting these designs in my head. They used to sit my behind down, bro. And I was like, what? like the Lord is like, yo, you too fresh to honor me today, bro. Sit your behind down. And it's like, come on, man. So yeah, just being patient with them, just always remembering you were there too. You were thinking like that, and you still have views that are probably like whacked out that you need somebody to sit down with you. And so being patient with them and just trying your best. Sometimes though, people are just gonna be stuck in their ways, bro. You just gotta let them ride. Like for me, there's people that don't rock with what I do because they just feel like it's worldly. Battle rap is worldly, or hip hop is worldly, or something like that. So I can't chase everybody down who doesn't necessarily see things the way I see. I gotta just hope like, all right, you know what, man, you go your way, I go my way. And hopefully you link arms with me in ministry, because that's what I'm gonna need at the end of the day.
Right. So I got a two-part question. The first one would be, okay, in some of your battles, and obviously I don't care about this, you might say hell, you might say damn, and it's amazing to me. I even remember this. Steph Curry at the NBA Finals got a foul, threw his mouthpiece, and said shit. And everybody was just like, oh my God, he's a Christian. How could he do this? So my first part of that question is, how do you deal with that? Because I know it's completely different when people see that, but it's weird how they use it against me, because again, that's the tradition that you're talking about that biblically has no type of backing. And then on a second part, racism. So I think a lot of what people are talking about when they talk about Christianity, especially Black people, is like, and it's hard for me, is thinking that at some point in time, if you talk about the KKK, like it was pastors and deacons under them hoods terrorizing our people. So it seems like a lot of stuff that's been made or built is man-made, and it's just superly racially like systematic as far as, and it's hard for me. It was even hard for me. I'm questioning this myself. Like, this don't make sense. Like, I feel like it's against my people. So you can answer both, and I can rephrase it. But yeah, I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
So for the first part, I just have a different view of what a curse word is.
Same here.
Saying like in the scriptures, you don't have a vocabulary list. This language that we're using, it changes all the time, right? Like, I mean, you go to Europe and you say the word bloody, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, he's cursing.
Right.
But it's like you and I like, yo, that's not how we view the word bloody, you know what I'm saying? So I tell people, you never apologize for what you say, you apologize for what you meant. And so at the end of the day, when Jesus is giving you scriptures or the apostles, right, about your speech, about curse words, even using that, right, they're not talking about a vocabulary list. What they are communicating is a heart issue, right? So for instance, if you're talking to me, right, and I say like, yo, I can't do the Zoom today, and you're like, I LOSO, like, you said my name, you didn't call me out of my name, but you said my name in a profane way, right? Like that was your heart intention. If I'm shooting a basketball and I miss a 3-pointer and I say, crap. Then I come down and I shoot the basketball again and I miss it again. And I say, shit.
Right.
Which one was the sin? And at the end of the day, the heart issue was the same, right? I was just frustrated that I missed it doesn't matter what came out of my mouth. It was my heart issue. Now, depending on where my state of my heart was when I said that, and here's the thing, I tell people, not saying certain words is easier than what Jesus is trying to ask you to do. What he's trying to ask you to do is, hey, you should be mindful of everything that you are communicating. Everything, every letter should be coming out. So if I told you, I was like, yo, man, this dinner you just cooked, bro, it was good as shit.
Right.
Yo, that's a compliment. That encouraged you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, now, granted, don't get me wrong. What I'm not endorsing is like, if there's just people who's just offended by certain words because, just society, stuff like that, and they haven't really thought it out, that's fine. Like, don't refrain from using it. But you can't just tell somebody that those words are, that God has a problem with those words, because he doesn't have a problem with those words. What he's more concerned about, like I said, is your heart intent behind saying anything. Now, granted, there are certain words, curse words, I refrain from, just because they just have they're just all negative. Like, it's almost like the way society views them is just like no way that you could just kind of redeem it. But for stuff like that, like damn, hell shit, I'm just like, yo, it's almost like adjectives. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, especially depending on where you're growing up at. So again, you won't find in the scriptures of the Lord banning you from saying a vocabulary list. What he is doing is encouraging you to watch everything that you're saying. And is it beneficial to your brother? Is it edifying to your brother? And if it is, do that. Right. So do that. So that's tougher than saying, don't say the F word, don't say the B word, don't say. That's easy, bro. That's trash. Right. And then moving to racism, bro. Like, bro, I'm always on that. Anybody who follows me knows like where LOSO stands with social justice and not just not being racist, but being anti-racist, right? Like standing up for our brothers and sisters who are oppressed. And people of color, who have been obviously viewed as like less than or inferior. And so you do got to admit, bro, you got to, like, as a Christian, you got to admit, like, yo, yeah, there were people in the name of Christ doing things that were not Christ-like, right? Mm-hmm. Slavery. I mean, we have a lot of church fathers, not church fathers, but Puritans or whatnot, like guys who used to write, theological books, who owned slaves, and they just missed the mark, bro, on the image of God and how your black brother and sister were just as valuable as your white brother and sister. They missed the mark on that, bro, and they knew the gospel. Mm-hmm. And so, unfortunately, you gotta address it. You can't shy away from it. You can't just be like, all right, well, that was then. I hate when they do that. That was then. It doesn't matter. Let's deal with it now, because there's still repercussions of it. Right. And if you think it's just in the government, in the society, and not in the church, you're a lie. Look around your church. Who do you see? You know what I'm saying? Do you see people who look like you? Do you see diversity? Because that's what Revelation 7 says. Every tongue, tribe, and nation. Like that's diversity. If you don't see that in your church, then obviously your church isn't a glimpse of what it should be. It's not a glimpse of heaven, right? So I would challenge people, not shy away from that, man. Have those tough conversations. And especially white Christians, man, like take ownership of whatever privilege you've been benefiting inside of a church, you know what I'm saying? And say, okay, how can we go ahead and really be the body, be one? So that's what I would say.
Gotcha. So you're ready to wrap it up, man. I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. This has been great convo though, but I got a couple more questions for you. First of all, I see on your Twitter, you consider yourself a bit of a hoop expert.
Yeah.
So who would you put in your top 5?
What, active or all time?
Active. We ain't gotta do all time.
Active right now: LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. After that, it gets kind of difficult for me. I would say LeBron, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry. I would say James Harden and Luka. I would say Luka's top 5 right now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. We probably had the same one, but my 5th is extreme bias. I don't care. Ooh. I love Devin Booker. That's my favorite player in the NBA.
I mean, and the reason why people won't put him up there, obviously, is because of like, one, he plays in Phoenix, and then two, he wasn't necessarily winning in, in the past, but now he is, you know what I'm saying? But now, even though he's winning now, everybody's like, oh, well, that's Chris Paul.
Chris Paul, yep.
It's like, I keep playing with Devin Booker if you want.
Yeah, so that's my favorite player. KD's my favorite player active because he's active. But as far as that next,
I want to say, a part of me wanted to put Kawhi Leonard out of respect, but I don't know.
I don't like Kawhi at all. I was about to say I hate Kawhi, but then I thought about what we just talked about, which is one of my examples is I could look at you and be like, I hate you. And that's way more impactful than me cussing and just saying something.
Facts.
So, and then as far as battle rap goes, man, where do you see yourself as far as what's your future? Like, what's your goals for battle rap?
Man, I still want to just keep competing at a high level, bro. I want to do monumental things, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look back at my career, Loso did this. Loso was one of the first people to do this, stuff like that. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And so we're not gonna be battle rapping forever.
Right.
Hopefully this opens up doors for me to do other things. And it's already been doing that.
Yeah, I would hope, as far as you make good music, man, which a lot of people don't understand. And I'll link all that in this video once I post it, though, so people can see. But you make great music too, which is a bonus. And I think you're seeing the elevation in Christian rap.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, people taking more chances and stuff like that. So I look forward to that. I actually had a guy hit me up. He was in Houston when you battled Scotty, that first Fofo. He was there. He was like, man, I was in the crowd. I remember that. So you've been setting these places everywhere you go. It seems like on fire, literally and figuratively, on fire and on fire for God. So I'm just really excited, man, that you and, like I said, the Horsemen are still doing y'all's thing, because I know it's not easy. I'm looking forward to your career continuing to progress. I'm a major fan, like I said, and I hope to see you and Ward do some more 2-on-2s.
That's the goal, bro.
Yeah. So again, Loso, man, thank you for joining. Thank you for giving us the time. Is there anything else you want to say?
Man, if you're interested in following me, go to everythingloso.com. That's my website. You can find everything there.
I'll put all that tagged in there in the description, so you guys can just click it. Again, appreciate you. For all those listening, thank you for listening. For all those watching, we appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Yes, sir.